It's Gaia! What's up,
What's
guys?
good, guys? How's it going, Tino?
What up, what up?
It's pretty
Welcome.
good to have you here.
Awesome. Okay, alright, so let's meet the panel here. Got on deck.
How's it going? My name's Coffee. I'm the director of Gaia Clan, or GCG Global, or Gaia Clan Global, however you know it. I'm just kind of pretty much the figurehead, the head honcho, the founder, whatever you want to call me.
Hello, fellas. I'm Gaia Ivar, president of GCG Xbox. I'm a comical kind of fella, a warlord to a lot of people. More of a gung ho type of play style. You know, if I end up in a fight, I don't care about dying. I'm gonna take as many of you with me
Nice.
as I can before going down. This outfit is a little something I threw together. I was experimenting with the expedition hat. Kind of delicious on this here fit. Currently running dual navies, Lancaster and Carcano with medium scope.
Okay, cool. And next would have to be, of course, Gaia chart.
I'm Gaia Extra, affectionately referred to as Charmithius the Great. I am the vice president of the GPG Xbox branch. I typically don't fight, but when I do, corners are my game, and I die out in the plains. I generally like to wear big hats, pointed shoes, but in regards to the uniform, this Mac has been my friend for many years. I typically use a controversial Litchfield, a bolt action, and my favorite, dual sawed-off.
Very cool. Awesome. And then next we have Aggro.
Hello, I am Guy X Agro. I am the newest addition to the Gaia's Commissioners. I used to be the head of security here in Gaia. And now I'm wearing the standard Gaia uniform with some tints of white, obviously. Guns I'm wearing, mainly my shotgun I used back when I was in the Sentinels. A Lancaster, which is everybody's best friend. Currently I'm using two Navy revolvers, but usually I have semis on my waist. Usually my play style is I play Pib a lot, very big Pib player, and I'm very aggressive when I play.
Very cool, dude. And last but not least, Eric.
Howdy, I'm Gaia X Eric. I am the newly appointed Sentinel Commander, so I'm in charge of all the security side of things within the Gaia Clan Xbox branch. At the moment, I'm currently rocking my newly adorned Commander Gaia rig. It sort of just went over a new overhaul as I've joined Council. Currently running a bolt-action rifle, pump-action shotgun, and dual semis. I'm typically a short to mid-range fighter, but I also like corners and despise planes with a burning passion.
Very cool. Awesome. So that's the panel here tonight. Let's get to discussing what we wanted to talk about here. So, Coffee, as the founder of Gaia, can you tell me where the name came from and how it all started?
Yeah, so before I get into it, I'd like to state that our crew's been up for a really long time, ever since I was a kid. Contrary to popular belief, I'm actually not the original founder of it. I'm a co-founder, so I joined when I was kind of a kid, and back then it went by a different name. It went by Venom. We were mainly on Call of Duty back when like crews like FaZe and stuff were really starting to pop off, and we thought we were going to be the next big thing, and so we were primarily focused on Call of Duty, and then we ended up moving to PS4 because we were originally a PlayStation 3 clan.
Okay.
And then we started getting involved with GTA and a bunch of other Rockstar games. Over time, eventually, we had come to a conclusion on a rebrand. I came up with a list of names. I took a lot of inspiration. You hear a lot of these crews that name themselves after, Norse gods or Greek gods and stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of incorporate that into something that would mean unity. And so when you think of unity, you often think of like a globe of some sort. And so I started looking into the meaning of Gaia. Gaia being kind of like our membership. We have a lot of members that come from all over the place, all over the world. Some people from Europe, some people from the Middle East, some Asians. So Gaia just fits. You'll often notice that a lot of our logos and stuff like that have a golden globe just to represent us, and no matter what it is, it's got it in it. It's just kind of our thing. So
Very cool. It means like, you know, like you said, unity, international. You got members all around the world. How many members does Gaia have in total?
So as of right now, probably around the 200 mark of fully patched in members. If we're just looking at Discord alone, our Xbox Discord has 147 members. Of course, there are people that are not necessarily in the clan that are in the Discord, affiliates, friends of the crew, whatever you have it. But there are exactly 85 fully patched in members. That's not including some of our members who are yet to become members. There's about 10 to 20 prospects at any given time. And that's just only on Xbox. And for the sake of this, I'll keep it relatively mostly Xbox based because the other stuff is a whole handbasket in itself.
Okay. Why did everyone jump to Xbox?
There was a policy that Sony had enacted due to something that a child had done publicly on Facebook. I won't go into too much detail, but they shut down the communities that Sony had put up on PlayStation. So prior to us coming to Xbox, we had ran our clan from these internally integrated communities, not from Discord, and they shut it down. They deleted all of it.
Okay.
And so me and my leadership were very upset with this decision. We were very against the policies that they enacted. We were very upset because they deleted the communities and got rid of a lot of our progress that we were building over the course of many years at that point.
Okay, wow.
And that following holiday, I had ended up getting an Xbox, and I'd met some great people on here, and I just decided I think it's time to pick up and move to Xbox, and a lot of my OG boys followed me here. We've been rolling ever since.
Yeah, pushing recruitment on Xbox, and you let go of the PlayStation side completely?
For a time. We do have a PlayStation server up, though it doesn't have much going for it as of right now, though I'm looking to reignite that at some point in the near future.
What year was the crew founded in?
April 17th of this year will be 15 years. I've met a lot of people. You know, people have come and go. Again, I wasn't always the leader or the founder, so to speak. That was another guy called Demonics. He was the one that kind of put it together, and I just joined because I hung out with some of the people that joined it. So I ended up getting leadership about 3 years in, because the guy, Demonics, his wife ended up giving birth or something like that, and he passed it on to, you know, whoever he thought would best run it, and I kind of took over and just kind of turned it into what it is today.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, persistence is key to running a crew, right? You've been around for a while and expanded to different games. Can you elaborate on that? Like, what games has Gaia been playing these days?
Well, as far as within our Discord, we have a variety of different chats. You know, we touch upon GTA. I'm sure if you've followed up with our Instagram and stuff of that, you'll actually see we've got our patch, our logo on the back of our characters' jackets and stuff like that. So we have a presence on GTA. On Xbox, we have a Minecraft realm, and on PC, we actually have an entire Minecraft server.
Okay.
So Minecraft is pretty prevalent to a degree. We had a lot of people that play a lot of Sea of Thieves. We did have a okay size Fallout movement at some point, but that's since kind of died down. A lot of COD players, a lot of Phasmophobia. We actually run a DayZ server. So we're kind of just everywhere, you know. Whatever we can get our pies into, we'll just kind of touch down there.
Cool. An adaptive crew, you know, picking up different games as they come out. But yeah, moving on, and this can go around the table. What made each of...
Sorry, my character's accidentally stood up.
Oh man, who's this?
That's Chief Dill, by the way. That is one of our council members.
Okay,
he's not
cool.
here presently. Would it be okay for us to bring him in?
Yeah, pull him in. All right, we have a new guest that climbed on board. It's Chief Dill. Can you tell us your rank, play style, outfit, and guns?
Yeah, my rank is currently 249. I'm a commissioner of Gaia Clan. My style of combat is just medium to close range. Currently run the Carcano and the Lancaster repeater, followed by 2 semi-automatics. Just looking for a new group to hang out with and save Coffee's life. Back in 2022, And that's what kind of brought me here today.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, let's segue over to coffee then. What made you join Gaia back in the day?
I just had a lot of friends that were around, and when they said like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna try to start up something, and we're gonna, do something and make it big one day," I guess I kind of bought into it, and I was really surrounded by people that I loved. A lot of people who acted as a kind of a support for me that I didn't have at that time period. I was going through a little bit of a rough patch in my home life at that point. I know I was young, but
Mm-hmm.
all I had was gaming, and it was my escape. And when I found people who were similar to me in that regard, some people older, some people, around my age, I still got, 14 years later, I still got some people that have been by me this whole time. I've met them in real life. I've grown up with them, and it's just, for me, it's become something much larger than just a gaming group.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, it's been my life for a long time, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Cool, cool. What about Ivar? What made you join?
There's a bit of a story behind that one. So before joining Gaia, I took part in leadership of another clan called VCO,
Okay.
Valhalla's Chosen. That kind of fell apart, right? So I didn't want to put down the game. I didn't want to, lose the great people I've met, and I was presented with an opportunity to flourish, and I took it. But it wasn't just that I was offered it; it was that I too wanted it.
Mhm.
I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, and here I am.
Cool, cool. Well, I'm glad it worked out. You seem to be around a great group of guys here and girls.
Oh yeah, I love
Speaking,
each and every one of them very
nice.
much.
Speaking of girls, we'll segue to Char. And why did you end up joining?
My brother actually had been running in the crew fiend for a few years prior. And then when I finally picked up Red Dead because he was insistent that I play with him, he introduced me to the crew that he was running with. Needless to say, it wasn't exactly my crowd, but in the process, I made friends with someone who was a part of Gaia at the time. And that sort of segued me into Gaia itself, and I've kind of just been here ever since.
Oh,
Never thought I'd make it to the position I'm in today, but here we are, and I'm thankful to be here.
very cool. A lot of the recruitment process in Gaia I've noticed is like, through word of mouth, getting recruited through friends and whatnot. What about aggro? How did you end up getting into Gaia?
That's another long story.
Okay.
I used to be a part of a small crew, Infinite Phoenix. I was third in command of that crew. Things happened, we fell out. I left that crew in kind of a bad taste. And I got on Red Dead one day and was about to take a final ride from one side of the map to the other. It was just like a final goodbye. Then on my way to the other side of the map, I met Dill and old member named Com. And they brought me here. And like Char said to herself, I'm surprised I made it this far.
Cool, cool. And Eric, you could mind us telling us how you got in?
Well, mine's another one of a bit of a long story. So,
You can sum it up if you want.
basically, Gaia is not my first clan, but it is most definitely going to be my last.
Okay, wow.
It's a case of I originally started playing Red Dead online as a beta kid, so I've been around for a while. Yeah, my level on this account doesn't show it, but this is also like my third playthrough with Red Dead Online. My first crew was Car and Industry. After leaving those, I sort of hopped around a bit, and other notable names that I hit sort of leadership ranks with alongside Garon. I held the same rank in Garon as I do in Gaia. I was 2IC of a group called Phoenix Agency. I was the leader of the regulators, and I was an officer in 2 mil sims. So I've been around the bush for a while, but after my crew hopping bit of where I was essentially looking for home, I sort of just reached out to Coffee and went, so can I join? And that pretty much brings us to today.
Okay. Awesome. And you know, it seems like you guys are, you know, everyone's happy with you know, the decisions they've made and the people they've met. So it looks like it's working out for you guys, right?
Oh, 100%. It's a
Absolutely.
case of that this is sort of the place where it's been like it's more of a family than a crew. We all have each other's backs.
Cool, cool. So what kind of crew do y'all aspire to be?
I think that for the most part, we try to be something a little bit more open. You know, you see all of these crews out there with pretty heavy restrictions on who can and cannot join. You got some crews out there that are more focused on PvP, some crews that let anybody the age of 18 in. Not only are we a pretty lax crew as far as age restrictions go, which means if you're able to use the Discord, then you're able to join. And as far as like in-game skill, we really don't care about it because our crew has a focus on other games, not just RDOs. So you could be good at one game and be terrible at something else, and still be able to make your place here and, you know, become a core member and do your thing. So anybody else is free to add on to that as they see fit.
I feel like Gaia, despite its various changes regarding strictness or gameplay, one thing always remains consistent, and that's that we are striving to fight back against the inherent toxicity within the gaming community, especially on Xbox. And we strive to be an open community, willing to accept those who are looking for a place to belong. We have very strong family values, and I'd like to say that I'm often, but it's the face of that, I'm often called the clan mom. But yeah, a lot of the relationships that people build here often are very long lasting because of the importance that we place on familial ties and family values.
Yeah, and loyalty and trust amongst other things,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, picking up on that, you know, I'd like to think we're way different than what you would call, you know, a clan, crew, whatever. We're more of like a family, you know what I'm saying? We're, you know, tight knit, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
one falls, we pick each other up. You know, we build ourselves up to be the best that we can be. And we look to share that, you know what I'm saying, with anybody that would like to become part of that.
It's like I said before. It's home. It's family. It's a brotherhood. It is what it is. It's a wonderful thing.
So moving on, does anybody have any unique talents besides gaming in the crew? Oh my god.
Yeah, apparently this guy does.
Yeah.
I am actually a big up and coming artist, you know?
Okay.
Up and coming artists have about like, I don't know, 80 fans.
What instrument was that? What is that? What was that noise? What was that sound?
I play the harmonica professionally, you know. I'm going out there. I actually got a concert down in Miami, Florida here in a month or two. You guys should pull up to it.
That's
Alright?
crazy.
I can't wait to watch the concert security escort you out of the premises.
So Agro, have you ever used your harmonica in game? Have you ever like used it to encourage anybody or anything at all?
Oh, it's gonna start happening soon. All right, it's gonna start happening real soon. Once you guys hear the harmonica playing, you'll know Gaia's coming. All right.
Harmonica cadence?
Whenever we have someone to punish, we'll put them in a room with this guy and a harmonica.
Torture tactics.
Yeah, torture tactics.
It's
official.
It's because I'm so good that they just like pass out from me serenading them with my harmonica. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's seductive.
wild, bro.
Alright, boys and girls, you heard it first here. Aggro and his harmonica is officially barred from Sentinel trainings.
Does anybody want to elaborate on the crew's weaknesses, if any?
I feel like the weaknesses tend to change. I wouldn't say that we necessarily have one consistent weakness across the board because we are constantly striving to patch up any holes that we have. Our leadership team, a majority of which you see here, are constantly looking out for any holes or any weaknesses in the foundation. And as such, the weakness that Gaia may have 1 year or even 1 month might not be the same to the next because
Okay.
it's a constant changing door.
What's a significant weakness that you guys remember that you can kind of talk about?
Probably consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The ups and downs.
Because it's really hard. It can be really hard to manage such a large group of people.
On the bright side, we are taking steps to remedy that, so it's okay.
Almost definitely.
Mm-hmm. And what about the crew's strength? What's the most significant strength that you guys would say that stands out the most?
Brotherhood.
Yeah, I was about to say, you see a lot of these crews out here who constantly tear each other apart over, fucking like, just stupid shit. And I personally have always wanted to fight back against that. I refused to be head of a crew that was constantly, warring with each other over, this, that, and the third. And so I think a large strength, and I'm not saying we're perfect, because we're definitely not, but I think that a large strength we have is that everyone in this crew, ranging from our lowest ranking people that just got patched in today, or people who have been here for 5-6 years, it doesn't matter. They all kind of have gone through their dues with each other. When someone's a solid member, and people just kind of have each other's backs, and that's my take on it. I think that's one thing that's allowed us to stay alive for so long is that, whereas every other group you see kind of has this problem with things falling apart around them, we've always been, interesting enough, we've always been consistent with the family values, like Char said previously. But that's just my take on it. I'll let them kind of speak on their own if there's anything that they believe is our greatest strength.
Okay, so minimal internal problems, I guess you could say, right? Internal. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about strengths?
I know that it was mentioned minimal internal problems. Yes, but also the sense of unity, which is, I feel, a separate thing in of itself.
I can confidently say that Gaia is a very supportive clan in terms of whenever anyone needs anything, that almost all of Gaia is very quick to jump on top of it, and that adds to the sense of family and brotherhood that we all have. I can say everyone around you right now is close friends of mine, and I wouldn't consider them anything less.
Very cool. I mean, besides that, what keeps everyone playing RDR today as opposed to like other games in terms of longevity?
If I had to guess, honestly, for our crew, as mentioned previously, we have Char had made a comment about how difficult it is to keep a large group of people pacified. And if there's one thing that we love about Rockstar, is that they allow us to explore open world like games with enough room in these open worlds to be able to host large and fun and versatile events. If I wanted to do a big, bike ride on GTA, I could fill that lobby full of 32 people, go around the map once or twice, and that's a good event. That's fun. That's something that we can do. We can sit around, talk. On Red Dead, we could do exactly what we're doing right now. If I wanted to do a trail ride, I could fill a lobby and I could do that. Maybe I could. We've played basketball with, like dogs' corpses and stuff in the past, right? So, honestly, there's very few games with the amount of creative freedom that RDO allows with the scale that it allows it, right? So you have a lot of games out there who are perfectly fine in their own right, and they may be able to allow a large group of people to play. but they don't have the freedom. You know, they don't allow you to kind of explore and be flexible as you can with RDO, and I feel like that's one of the major reasons why the clan community within RDO and GTA has always been very prevalent. But that's just, you know, again, that's my take on it.
Okay.
Not just that, it's also very pretty.
Oh yeah.
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 I agree.
The atmospherics of it all. I mean, the fire crackling away, the birds in the background, just the whole atmosphere. It's nice. It's enjoyable.
I think I saw a rabbit around here. I'm gonna shove it up Ivar's ass.
Yeah, it's true. It's very immersive and believable world. Char, go ahead.
To add on to that, actually, I feel like Red Dead like 2 as a game touched a lot of people. It was very meaningful for them. It changed some people's lives. I've seen plenty of Arthur Morgan tattoos and works of art, and it's shaped so much. It's one of those gems of a game. And I feel like Red Dead Online is a lot of people's way of attempting to preserve that. I think this game is very nostalgic for a lot of people. It represents a lot for a lot of people. And being able to create your own character and walk around the world is kind of their way of prolonging what Rockstar gave up on, you know?
Would you guys consider it dead in its current state, the game in its entirety?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a game, like as a community, yeah, it's gone. Anything that was as I knew it, and as the other people around this campfire that have been around for as long as they have, this community, this game has its own history, and when you look back on that history, none of the greats, people that made Red Dead worth playing, none of them are around anymore. You have the same cookie cutter style crews that are around, and you know they all just instead of bettering each other and picking each other up and making the community a better place, they do their best to try to control it and call themselves the top dogs. And you know, with so many people vying for that top spot with whatever way they have to, it caused the game to just wither, and eventually it got to the state that it's in now. So yeah, I'd go as far as saying it's completely dead.
Yeah, it's pretty cooked.
There's nothing here. It's pretty cooked, yeah.
Anyone want to chime in on that?
Yeah, and adding on to that, you know, I wasn't necessarily around for its glory days. I kind of came in at the end of it, back when, you know, cheating, booting, lag switching, and whatnot was, you know, being glorified. You know, and even then, it was painful to watch. You know,
I bet.
I loved, you know, online RDR1. I loved RDR2 online back before, you know, cheaters and whatnot alike, you know, kind of killed the what you call it, the drive,
Yeah.
right? You know, it was painful to watch it go down in flames the way it has, because you know it can definitely be a great game if, you know, other people, you know,
Would actually
made it
like
great as
play-
we do.
would actually
Yeah,
like play it
exactly.
for what it is and as it's designed. You just need to play the game, guys. It's like that simple.
It's just play the game as it's designed. Have
Yeah.
a good time. You know, like that's what the game is for. That's why this atmosphere is the way it is. You know, adding from what, you know, Eric said, beautiful atmosphere. Enjoy it. You know, it's not every
Uh,
day you get to watch a sunrise and a sunset all in the same day.
yeah, exactly. Chief, do you think it's dead or not?
I think it's getting there. I think it's at the end of its time, especially once GTA 6 comes out and the unconfirmed or suspicion of Red Dead Redemption 3, I meant.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good, really important factor is, you know, arguably the biggest and most important game of the, you know, maybe generation. I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, GTA 6 is creeping up, and it might take a couple of shots at RDR2's player base for sure. But can the game be saved? That's the real question. What do you guys think?
I don't personally think so. A large portion of what made RDR, the RDR community, what it was when it kind of took off, and you have to kind of look at it as a demographic. You know, GTA 5 will always have a larger demographic of people that play it as opposed to RDR. That's just a cold hard truth. It's always been bigger. I'd wager that it will always be bigger. But RDR was a very unique community, right? It was smaller.
Yeah.
That encouraged more familial growth. You had a lot of these YouTubers that were very big because they helped players make money on a game with no ways of making money. And so when you come into this game that did not get updates, did not get, the support that it needed, it encouraged clan growth because in order to get anywhere, you needed a large support system.
Yeah.
And so when these clans started going and turning into things that were against what the community should have been about in the beginning, it kind of started exiting the community standpoint and started kind of going into the more like warlord, like, oh, my crew's better than your crew. And it just went down. I don't personally think that it will ever be revived. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Especially with titles such as GTA 6 just around the corner. I think that this game had for the most part, I think it had a relatively brief history, and for those that were here that got to experience, it was an experience, and it was a memory I think we'll all love moving forward. But
Yeah, and games aren't necessarily designed to be played for, 8, 10, 12 years either, right? So it might be on its last leg, but, it definitely had a solid run and a very unique place in gaming history, I think, right?
I agree. Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah.
Adding on to the demographic thing, to my understanding, GTA is Rockstar's biggest moneymaker, right? So another thing that contributed to the downfall is, as it was mentioned, the lack of regular updates due to, all their resources being pulled from RDR to GTA.
Yeah. I wanted to know, and it's always interesting to ask this question, but what is everyone's favorite spot going around the table? The place that you remember the most in this game?
Probably going to be Saint Denis, I got to be honest. We've watched the history of this community go by.
Okay.
A lot of clans out there use Saint Denis as kind of a base of operations. A lot of communities have used Saint Denis as the kind of focal point of, meetings. It's, pretty close-knit and stuff like that. And Gaia, in traditional fashion, was no different. So that's my take on it.
Me personally, and I can't remember the location of it off the bat, but I know it's behind a waterfall.
Like near
That's
Ansburg?
where maybe I want to say Big Valley, maybe. It's a waterfall with a tree broken in half, and then behind the waterfall itself is a cave system.
Okay,
And,
I think I know where that is.
Yeah, it's up towards Annisburg, I think.
Yeah, Elysian Pool near there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
a lot of good memories there too. Sliding down what you call it, them wet cave systems would be funny, especially with the fit RDR has. RDR physics do be goofy. It'd be funny.
For
It's
sure.
a good time.
Yeah.
My favorite place, personally, would have to be Big Valley. It's such a beautiful location. In terms of the most historically significant for Gaia, that would have to be Saint Denis. I agree. Saint Denis is probably my second favorite place.
Yeah. Both awesome spots.
All right, mine's a bit more of a it's funny because it's not even on the map. I used to glitch out of the map a lot, go through Mexico, and it's towards the west side of the map, just a bit north of maybe a little bit west of Big Valley. It's this big mountain where you can see all the way from Tumbleweed to Saint Denis.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I know what he's
It's around
talking about.
here. It's like near
It
the St.
is-
Louis River, I think.
It is just a.
It's
It is a
huge.
sight. It is a sight to behold. It is
Crazy.
a place I used to go to a lot whenever I just wanted to play the game and chill out and just without having to deal with anybody. Just admire the beauty of the game. If I gotta say somewhere in the map, this is going to sound weird, but the Blue Water Marsh, because I used to fish a lot when I was lower level, and I fished a lot near the river there, the Kansas River, Kamasasa River, whatever the hell it's called,
Kamasa.
Massa River.
Around. I'm trying to find it on the map right now. I think the Kamasa River is right there, and you were talking about here. Okay, around there. Okay, near Ivar's favorite spot. That's cool. And then we, Chief, where's your favorite spot?
If I had to pick one, it would definitely be Strawberry. It's a very underrated spot. I mean,
Very
there's a
cool.
few things there. There's no gun store, unfortunately, but I just
Yeah.
like because it's out of the way. It looks very beautiful during the Christmas time,
Yeah.
and even when it's not Christmas time, it just looks beautiful. It's very out of the way.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people go there, and it's just very calm and a lot of good places to sightsee.
Yeah. There's a call to arms spot there too, I think. What about Eric? Where's your favorite spot?
For me, it's sort of like a 50-50 split, and they're both unmarked sitting positions. So one of them is the bank in Valentine. Honestly, sometimes if I'm just not doing a whole lot, I will go sit up there and just watch people go about their business. The other one is down by Manteca Falls, on the San Luis River. Again, it's another one of those unmarked sitting positions, and it's a very nice view from down there. Again, it's another watch the world go by bit
Yeah. Breathtaking sights, for sure.
here.
Um, awesome, awesome. So bringing it to the online aspect of the games, what kind of social experience can people expect being around Gaia? Like whether they're hanging out with you in party chats, or the type of friendships people are making, the alliances you joined, and the complications that come with that, or the advantages that come with that. Can anyone elaborate?
Just kind of starting off with the alliance bit, we don't ally with any group that is particularly foreign and or different from our own style of cruise. So we're not going to go off and ally with a group that's ideologically opposed to ours. So if that clan just so happens to promote cheating or booting or anything like that, that's an automatic no-go for us.
Okay.
And because of that, we oftentimes go and associate typically, well, for a while there, it was a lot of Milsims, but typically that community has even started to get overrun with a lot of cheating and, kind of bad, behavior. So we started going with these smaller, newer clans because these clans, they have no real reason to get involved in the big dog fight, so to speak. They have no real reason to measure their crew up to anybody else's. They just want to play the game and have a good time. And so, I'd say as far as social experiences, the people in Gaia can be fairly. I'm not going to say standoffish because that's not necessarily the case. It's not that they're very standoffish to outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
We will recognize when there is someone who is not a member among us, and so we don't really typically go and, kind of chat as openly, but once it's just Gaia, the environment becomes a hell of a lot more loving, a hell of a lot more accepting. Sometimes I think that we can get a little carried away with some of the things that we say because, again, a lot of the people who are in Gaia know each other in real life. They have those bonds, people kind of just, they trust each other, and so they're going to say, what's on their mind, even if that thing might be a little, controversial or whatever. Nobody's going to judge them because, again, everybody's fairly close with a lot of the people. But when we are around non-members, that can go from very open verbally to very reserved, kind of, you know, a little bit more. How would you say, like, you know, people going out in public in real life? You know, you're not going to say certain things to strangers on the street that you would, you know, your flesh and blood that live inside your house. But uh, I feel like that's just kind of my outlook on it. Mainly just kind of looking down onto the crew and seeing how people interact with one another. And, you know, as far as like types of friendships, you know, this guy right next to me, Ivar, me and Ivar, we share ink in real life. Like we got tattoos together.
Greatest experiences of my life. Let me tell
Oh,
you.
real.
It was like meeting a celebrity in a way, you know. I never thought that I'd meet the man himself, you know.
Yeah.
What kind of tattoos
And
did you guys get, if you don't mind I ask?
so that's actually a funny story. So he had asked me if he could get my gamer tag on his arm or something like that, and I
Oh.
told him hell no.
Oh my god.
I told him hell no, and so
Yeah,
we.
he grilled my
Damn.
shit for about 15
Yeah.
minutes about it.
I was like, bro, you don't ever do that. Like, I don't care how close you think you are with someone. Come on, like, have a little bit more sense. So I talked him down to a little coffee cup, right? And you know, I guess out of, you know, and I won't speak for you, Ivar, but I feel like it was mostly out of, you know, dedication, loyalty, you know, respect, mutual respect.
Yeah, that's
He got a
exactly what it
little
was.
he got a little coffee tattoo, and me, like, feeling kind of moved by that gesture, I also got the same, you know, coffee tattoo. So whenever someone asks us about it, I'm like, yeah, I got this with my boy, you know, with my boy Ivar.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it's
so
like my other half, you know.
yeah, for real. And the beautiful one next to me, Char, this is actually my girlfriend. And so, you know,
Yeah.
again, some of the ties that people make in this crew go like far deeper. There's also people around here sitting around the campfire who also have significant others within the clan, and of which case they can speak up on their own.
But yeah, like mentioning females in the crew, and not only like females, but just mixing the genders together in your crew. Do you think that females get treated fairly in the game in general compared to males, or does it get complicated?
I personally, and you guys are free to correct me on this, I personally really believe that Gaia is probably one of the best crews out there for equality among genders.
Okay, cool.
I feel like our stance on how we run the crew is very different from a lot of other groups, and as far as like, and I feel like this question is kind of indirectly pertaining to a lot of groups out there who do like in-game dating,
Okay.
or like online dating or something like that. And for example, me and Char, we know each other IRL, right? But we met through the game, and like we actively pursue a relationship. And so, and we're not the only the only people within Gaia who have found companionship, so to speak. Has it ever become a problem? Yes, on a couple of different occasions, though the clan itself, particularly council, which you were surrounded by, we try to the best of our abilities to maintain a pervasive, like, it's none of our business type stance on that
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
So, like, when two members kind of go back and forth, we don't take sides. We kind of tell them, like, you guys both, like, take a chill pill. We don't care who's right. We don't care who's wrong. Leave, take some time off, go deal with it yourself. And if you guys come back single, then that's not a problem of ours. Now, on that same vein, I also feel like Gaia being the type of crew that it is, obviously people are going to have their own, you know, support networks. People are going to reach out to their friends, and that's perfectly fine. But as a crew, we kind of stay out of that. You know, it's none of our business. But
Okay, you're a bit more liberal on like dating and you know, people hanging out
Yeah.
together and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Char? Can you kind of give us your experience on what it's like being a female in Gaia, and talk about equality a little bit? Equality
Yeah, of
issues,
course.
not only in the crew but within the game. Anything you've
Yeah, I
experienced?
actually wanted to touch on the game. In terms of the Red Dead Online community as a whole, women are not treated the same as men. And note that I said same and not equal, because when it comes to equality, the scales tend to sway, right?
Hmm.
So I have seen a multitude of instances where women are uh, sexualized, right? They are mistreated. They're treated inappropriately. They're called names regarding that sort of thing. But on the flip side, I have seen women wrongfully gang up on men and paint them in a bad light and paint them as uh, inappropriate or
Mm.
stuff like that when that's not true.
Okay,
So,
okay.
in regards to the community as a whole, I don't think anyone is treated fairly. I think women are treated unfairly just as much as they treat others unfairly. Unfairly. Regarding the plan, regarding Gaia, we treat everybody equally. It does not, like, gender does not matter. As long as you can get stuff done, that's what matters.
Okay, so it's kind of like a, I guess you could say if you're a female in the comm, like especially joining Gaia or hanging out with you guys is kind of like an escape from female abuse, right? People can expect
Exactly.
equality,
Yeah.
absolute equality, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, and we talk about some of the leadership here, having certain responsibilities. Can you talk to me about the Gaia Times, which is a unique project that you guys started? I actually participated at some point, and I had a lot of
Yeah.
fun. You know, it was very, like I said, you guys are very organized. Can you talk about this project a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. You actually helped write an article for edition number 4, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, the Gaia Times was started originally a couple years ago. Within the first year and a half of me joining the community and joining Gaia, I had uh, gotten requested by Coffee to see if I could do a paper because he had seen some of my artistic abilities in the past, and he had been playing around with the idea of having a Gaia themed newspaper, and he decided to come to me to see what I could do. Needless to say, he was impressed with what I came out with, and we had a couple of editions. Um, but I gotta be honest with you, writing an entire paper by yourself on a consistent basis is really difficult.
Yeah,
So
I bet.
when life got in the way, like it always does, um, I had to shelve it for a while. Um, the second time I brought it back, I formed the Bureau, which is a Discord server, and essentially what it is it's where I can get other people. Originally, it was just picking from Gaia, people who were interested in helping me write articles and helping me take pictures for them, so that way a lot of the burden was lifted off of my shoulders. Um, Unfortunately, some stuff came up, and that had to get put on the back burner. And then fairly recently, it's last December, I believe, um, December 2024,
Hmm.
I finally had the free time to actually reopen it again. And this time I have reopened it to everybody. So you don't have to be in Gaia to help contribute to the paper if you'd like to. We are more of a separate entity now, despite the uh, affiliation, right? Because naturally we are still affiliated with Gaia. However, we are our own entity, so you don't have to be Gaia to come help with the paper. We cover a wide variety of topics. They all usually stay within the realm of the gaming community. We cover new releases, we cover old releases, we cover a variety of games, and it's a good time.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
Me personally, I enjoy reading the paper, and I'm not one for. It's gonna sound funny, I'm not one for like reading, like especially books. Like it just depends on the book, right? But I always enjoy when the newest edition comes out. I'm like a what you call it, groundhog with that thing. As soon as that thing comes out, I'm on it. Bam.
Yeah, and
You
the
know.
presentation is very well made. Like the graphics, it's very believable, and I'm like, oh my god, I can read my own article in like a paper that looks like it was printed over 100 years ago. It's pretty incredible. So,
She does pretty good with it. I'm actually really proud of her when she started redoing that again. I was really happy to see it back.
all right, guys, this is cool. Let me see where the train. It appears the train is not coming and is gone. So maybe we can get a trail ride going, and we can meet up with it. Try to find this train, hop on, and coffee. We can maybe head to Saint Denis, and you can show me where it all started. The main spots
Oh
that you guys
yeah,
hang out with.
yeah. I feel like a lot of the members we've picked up over the years has also been from San Denis, just that general area.
Yeah. All right. Let's figure out the route here. We're by the tracks. Cross here, and then just aim. Okay. Yeah. We just have to maintain the tracks. Take the lead. I will continue to fire off questions. We talked about cheating a little bit, guys. We can go around the table. What's the general opinion in this crew about cheating in RDR? Does anyone use them? I mean, I know that it's like unacceptable, but what's your opinions on them too?
Within Gaia, the large consensus is that it's strictly prohibited. Under no circumstance do we cheat. So much so that in the event that we get into conflict with crews that do, we just pull. Like we don't take it that seriously. And I feel like I don't think there's a single person in Gaia that I know of that cheats. Though we do have people who have come from other clans in the past who do. We've had people that come from FFX and a couple people from Sin.
Okay, well,
And we even have people who continue to still be good friends with certain individuals a part of those groups. And that's just because not everybody a part of these clans is necessarily bad. I think a large portion of the rep that a lot of these groups get is from the group's leadership, mid-tier members that kind of they get their kicks from making the game unenjoyable for others. And as far as Gaia as a whole, we do not condone or support cheating in any form.
okay.
We can get on the train if you
Yeah,
guys
let's get
like.
on that train.
All right,
Hop on.
hop on. I'd flee your horse too, because else we're just gonna have them. They're gonna like get hit by the train or something. Get out of here, Halsey. Make it.
Ooh, smooth.
he almost did not make that.
Hell yeah.
You just want to like sit here in the
Yeah,
middle
exactly.
of the train.
Hopefully this
Yeah,
goes
alright.
to Saint Denis, but we'll see. It looks like it's not.
Nah, we're heading to Valentine.
All right.
It'll loop. Will it?
Let's loop it. We'll stay on for a bit, guys, if you're down.
Right.
And then we'll decide where we're gonna get off. Anybody else want to give their cheating opinions on game?
I have very strong opinions on them.
Okay.
I've always been a big person against cheating. I'm not gonna lie to you, and this will go out to anyone listening. If they're cheaters, I think you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's just you go out of your way to make the game unenjoyable for people who might just get on the game every week because their job can't allow them to get on too much, and they're just on there to let lax and fucking calm down. And people get on here, boot, cheat, fucking do all this dumb shit just because their mommy didn't fucking love them enough.
Adding on to that, right? If you gotta cheat, like, especially against a clean fighting crew, I mean, we're up.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you cheat and still are bad, we're definitely up.
Whenever we've determined that the other party is lag switching, or typically what we'll do is if one person gets hit off, we'll kind of raise our eyebrow, right, as far as like booting. And then if they go into the Discord and they be like, hey, my router went off, and we'll be like, and then usually, with crews that do that stuff, where one goes, there's always going to be followed by another. And after the second person's done, we pull everybody, because again, Gaia's fairly open. We have a lot of people that are under the age of 18. And for us, the safety of members' routers and the ability to play games is more important to us than winning a fight and putting bodies at a problem that just can't be fixed. So,
yeah,
it is a no-go. It's an auto L for anybody who cheats in this video game, regardless of what they may say.
I've never really understood the what people's obsession is with cheating, especially on like games that you really don't need to get by. I mean, all it takes is a little bit of practice, and you can be as good as the next person. Like, everyone starts at the same place. You don't have to sort of cheat your way to success, because at the end of the day, if you got to do that, hell, I could hand the controller to a 6-year-old and they can probably beat you.
Yeah, and it only takes a couple of months to be adequate in PvP. Maybe 4 or 5 months. I don't know, depending on how intelligent you are and reflexes, etc. But it's
with the proper training.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice to see you guys' influence and your opinions on that is in the right direction. And what about booting culture? Does anybody want to elaborate on that? Is it glorified in your crew?
It is not. It's definitely not. That, for us, that counts as cheating. Like, it's in the same vein. Now, me personally, the other people on this train aren't going to be as like into that, because that was just this is the Xbox portion of Gaia has always been a little bit different. I will go on and be as forthcoming and as honest as I possibly can be, because that's just the type of guy I am. Back on PlayStation, we did have a couple booters, and we did do that type of stuff, though again, as stated previously, we did not go by the name Gaia, and so I feel like a lot of people tend not to associate the name Gaia with cheating, and that's intentionally. We go out of our way to do anything that could label us as a cheater crew or anything like that. I think the most people complain about our crew in the community is that we flood. That's just how we do it.
Yeah.
If a member puts out an SOS, we're in the lobby. It's always been that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of these people on the train are a little bit more like clean-handed than I am. I was a little bit of a naughty boy in my kind of younger years.
And you have sins.
Specifically on the GTA community, it was really bad. And I picked it up because I thought it was, cool. Not me, I can't boot, but one of the founders of Gaia, he was kind of a computer wizard, so to speak, and he got into it for a little bit. And so whenever I got upset enough, I'd go off and tell him to do stuff. But he hasn't rolled with us in many, many years. It's been about so it's 2025. He probably hasn't been with us in about 7 years. It's been a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine the crew's changed a lot since then.
It has. Most the people on this train haven't been around for that long.
Yeah. So you talked about SOSs and flooding and PvPing a lot. Do you guys often get jumped? And if so, how do you react?
I can't speak for everyone here, but I get jumped somewhat every once in a while. I block people whenever I get added by people I don't know. I just block. Like, I'm a very no drama style person, and if someone adds me and I don't know who you are, you're getting fucking blocked,
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, if it's really important, my Discord is fairly well advertised. Just add me on Discord. I mean, if you gotta get in contact with me, do not add me on Xbox. I will block you if I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And as far as our crew getting jumped regularly, honestly, we don't play this game like that anymore. Sure, we run large scale events and stuff like that because we have a large portion of our crew that still plays and has access to this game. But as far as outright jumping, Um, as far as I know, I think a large majority of the issues that we have with PvP is just finding other groups in game. Though they seeing that we're in the list and then they'll hunt us down. But us getting jumped like intentionally is just very rare. It used to be worse, but in the last year or so, it's kind of calmed down a lot. But that's my take.
Any names to look out for? Any people targeting Gaia? Any crews like that that you want to bring awareness to?
Everybody.
Damn.
Honestly, at
Yeah.
times, at times it kind of feels like everybody's after us, but I also feel like that's a part of the community that we're a part of. But Gaia has long been on the side of anti-cheat, anti-boot. I have often gone on tangents on my Instagram, calling out crews like Sin, DAF, Mob, FFX. You know, a lot of these crews that are known for cheating. I mean, it's not like we're saying anything that hasn't been said already. And it's not that we're a particular large blip on anybody's radar. Now, we did have a lot of issues with clans in the past. Pen Federation, or as we like to call them, Pen Pals. They are gone from the comm as far as we know. We had a couple issues with... Ares Empire, but we got that shit, you know, patched pretty well. You know, me and the guy who runs that, we kind of just shook hands and we're like, look, you know, nothing comes of this. We do what we do, you do what you do, and that's kind of that. We leave it there, you know, so...
Okay.
As far as any crews actively coming, you know, to go after us, there's not any left. Not really.
Okay. Besides the couple of crews that you've talked about with your, you know, past beefs, do you generally get along with the rest of the comm, or do you guys find yourself arguing quite often?
We don't engage in conflict. If someone comes at us and they are saying like Gaia shit or Gaia this, you know, Gaia that, like in my previous statement on Instagram, I literally don't care. I'll just ignore you. Like, I promise the people that play this video game that come at us and they do all that, they're the furthest thing from top priority on my mind. I don't care. I've never have. And, you know, that's why, like, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, half your crew has me blocked, or, you know, this, that, and the third. Again, you know, we don't care. Like, if you're a problem for us, we're gonna block you. If you are coming at us and you are getting in our games and trying to attack us, we don't care enough about in-game beef for us to sit there and be like, and give you the opportunity to get in our games and ruin stuff for the people who may not even have anything to do with that style of beef.
Mm-hmm.
The people in Gaia, there's a lot of people who are not PvP adequate. There's a lot of people who sit down and, as Aggro stated, they come home from a long day of work and then they get on the game because it's beautiful. We all have something that we look up to this game. We all have something that brought us to this game, that allowed us to be members of the overall community. And, you know, you have these groups that are going around and making this difficult for people. We're not about that. We're not gonna draw attention to that. We're not going to sit there and go on Instagram and be keyboard warriors for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. That's the last thing on our priority. We don't care.
Okay.
And if I may add to that, it has nothing to do with fear, the reason we block these individuals, because believe me, we're far from afraid, right? It has everything to do with the peace of mind. You know, we enjoy our peace.
Oh, we're almost at Saint Denis here, guys. So we'll probably have to get off soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here?
Yep.
Oh God!
Everybody starts jumping off. You guys gonna call our horses? Yeah, no, it don't affect me too bad. Dang.
My bad, Ivar. My bad, Ivar.
Good job.
I
Good job,
just made
big guy.
Ivar
Get
eat
on that
shit. My bad.
Alright. Ivar's so
good,
suited.
man.
So yeah, we talked about getting along with the comm and things like that. You know, talking about people outside the crew. How would you describe the RDR community in its entirety compared to other games, the good and the bad? Anybody can chime in.
Uh, for me, I think that the RDO community was something, as you stated previously in a previous point, it was something very unique. I'll actually take GTA 5, right? GTA 5 is a bigger game. And if the most influential group on GTA 5 would have little to no effect on the overall community, Red Dead was not the same.
Yeah.
A large enough clan on Red Dead could change the way that this community views something about the community. A good example, and this is always the example that I use, is Karan Industry. Karan Industry was a
Oh, yeah.
very, very large and influential clan. No matter what anyone says, they were cheaters, they had a lot of members, they were fake, blah, blah, blah. You could say whatever you want to say about Karan Industry. But when the leaders of Karan Industry came together and they made their feelings about something known, the rest of the community quickly followed suit.
Okay.
It was a lot of peer pressure, I feel, or not really peer pressure, but it was kind of like that herd mentality. And then when Karan exited the community, when it fell apart, the only thing that was holding the community back from being the cesspit that it is today was people encouraging other groups to fight back. And Gaia doesn't have that manpower. We don't have that fame. Though we share their views against cheating and stuff like that, we are simply not interested in being in the limelight like that. Because being the biggest, best, quote unquote crew, that does nothing but paint a big red target on your forehead, and we're not trying to be about that. We'll affect what we can, and that is through positive relations, reinforcing our relationships with other smaller crews, of which we believe builds pretty much the backbone of communities. If not on Red Dead, then on GTA.
At the moment, because back when I first joined the comm, Calron was still around, ROR, CG, Penn was still big back then. I was in a smaller crew, so I wasn't too exposed to them. But I was exposed enough because my small crew was fighting a lot of them. I've always seen the bad side.
Okay.
I don't think I've been in this community, even though I've been here for 5 or 6 years now, I still haven't been in this community long enough to see that prosperous side where everybody's all hand in hand, you know. I've always seen the
negative
side where it's toxicity, stuff like that. I've been in a lot of different communities. Fallout 76, fucking good community, people are nice. Here, you could go into a party and either meet the best person you could ever meet or literal scum of the fucking earth. It's really no in between. Like, I'm lucky I found Gaia and not some people like fucking White Brotherhood or fucking Sin.
Yeah. Risky business.
Yeah, so it is like Coffee said, it's a very unique. It's very unique.
Yeah.
In a way that there's not really an in between here.
Yeah, and it's you know, same makers but very different from GTA. I mean, everything you do here could be pretty significant, you know. Whereas GTA, no one will care about who you are unless you have a a big crew that kind of like dominates in PvP or cheats or whatever. That's usually how you get known in AtCom.
Right.
So guys, let's talk about social media a bit. What's your like social media experience like, and what kind of content do you guys make?
I don't make a lot of stuff as pertaining specifically to RDO, or actually really a lot of gaming content in general.
Okay.
I often make, and you'll know this reflected on my Instagram, but I don't use TikTok or anything like that. I kind of stay away from most forms of social media. I'm just kind of like that, but
You're looking out
I
for your
do use
mental health.
Instagram. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to do that when you're watching the world fall apart around you.
Yeah.
But I do use Instagram for the funnies, and I will occasionally like go on, and I'll go on whole rants. I'll tell people like, I, I will always fight back and state my piece on what's going on in the community. If if I see something that's going on that's terrible, if I hear about a particular beef, I'm liable to make a story, not necessarily talking about the beef, but I will talk about specific circumstances and like tell people like it's not always black and white. Not always. It can be black and white, yeah, but in the same way that there are good people in sin, uh, there's always going to be one bad apple that ruins the bunch, or
Yeah.
something along those lines. I'm a pretty I'm a big advocate for not everything is just black and white. There are some things that happen within this calm that are best left completely just untalked about
Hmm.
because there is no resolution to the conflicts that people are either making up in their head or something happens. Regardless of what beef that people have, it's just none of it really matters at the end of the day. But as far as like the type of content that we see, honestly, a lot of it's like I feel like PvP montages
Yeah, a lot of
is
Yeah,
a
PvP
big
a
thing.
lot
montages.
of those.
Any
Yeah, big thing in this
photographers?
community. Oh yes, we have a bunch
Oh yeah.
in Gaia.
Oh
We have a
yeah.
lot of picture takers.
Okay, cool. Very, very useful when you have all
We
these
do.
players.
Oh yeah, we do occasionally post like a lot of pictures. It's not often, but we do. Mainly because I'm one of the only people that run the Instagram. So like, uh, so we don't that I don't really post often. A lot of it's kind of been put on the back burner for me. So, but I still do occasionally post like kind of promotional content and stuff like that. We try. It's not a big thing for us right now, though we are planning on for this year, kind of expanding on that and trying to do it more and more often. So
Okay.
you just keep your eyes out for that.
Okay, cool.
I recently made an Instagram account for them.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so
we'll include that in the link to sorry, we'll include that in the description to the Gaia Times so that people can follow. It's a very solid project and a good idea. Probably an excellent way to approach social media in a different manner. So kudos to you, Char, for starting it.
thank you.
So having said that, guys, I'm pretty bad at avoiding trouble myself on this game, especially doing what I do. But I'm looking for good tips of avoiding drama. So, what are some tips you guys can give me to stay out of drama in RDR?
Keeping your head low, it's the biggest part. If you don't have a tag on, as soon as you get a tag on your name, no matter what crew tag it is, it could be Sin, it could be EHR, it could be Gaia, it could be anything. As soon as you get a tag on your name, you get a big red circle on your back. All right. So, biggest thing is staying low, because as soon as you start associating with one group, there's going to be another group to jump on your back and start attacking you.
Hmm.
Now, it's harder for people like you who do podcasts and stuff like that because you're out there, people see you, and you have to be very careful with your choice of words, or else one group of people is going to be like, I hate this guy and this and that, and they're just going to start attacking you for no reason.
For the average gamer, though, who doesn't have a platform to kind of upload to, what are the main aspects that starts drama in the com specifically?
Associating with crews,
Hmm.
it's right there. As soon as you associate with crews, like I said, it's a big red target. So I can tell you, when I wasn't in the crew, I didn't even know there was a big com. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was just another game.
Yeah.
But as soon as you join a crew, it just turns into this vast network of bullshittery that turns into either the best thing you've ever been into or the worst.
If I'd have to say, best way to do it is just keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble. If you see some people causing a ruckus or anything, just let them be. Because even over social media and in the game, everybody's gonna fight. Somebody's gonna fight either outside of the game, on social media, in the game. It don't matter. There's gonna be somebody saying something. Best way to keep away from it is just let them do their thing and then just stay in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Block out the trouble and try not to respond or get baited into it. A good advice.
If trouble is not brought to you via, gunfire your way, your name in someone else's mouth, uh, kind of, and as respectfully as I can put this, mind your business,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially as a solo player. If you're,
Oh yeah.
going about it as a solo guy, yeah, just if the business doesn't involve you, don't go looking for trouble, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, a little close.
I think for me, as far as like staying out of trouble, just like Agro said, just like Chief Dill, just like Ivar, number one, stay away from crews. That's just number one thing. If you want to stay out of the drama, get away from the crews. If you are invited to join one and you are wanting to stay clean, stay away from them. Right? Like if you're wanting to stay out of that, do not join a clan. That includes Gaia. Gaia is a recognized crew.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who have never been jumped before on this game, and once they join Gaia and they put Gaia X in their name, all of a sudden, everybody wants their ass. That's just how it works. If you don't want to be involved in the clan scene, if you don't want to be involved in the drama, whatever, stay out of it completely. Say no to all invites. Uh, if you are getting followed by somebody, just block and move on. The best thing about solo players is that they're not tied down. There's no reason for anybody to come at you if you're, keeping your nose clean. You're not doing anything to anybody. You're not going and, gooding on Instagram and going and picking fights with every Tom, Dick, and Harry you see. Uh, and outside of that, if you want to stay safe, if you are going to do that, find yourself a good crew.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a part of this community for long term, it's difficult to stay out of trouble. Because
Mm-hmm.
even solo players, I know some solo players who are just high enough level and they've gotten into enough fights where they have a reputation in the com. Like,
Okay.
that's all it takes. And so you have to have the right connections. Just, befriend everybody you meet, pretty much, if you are going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Befriend everybody you meet. Don't go and talk shit when it's not needed. Don't go and do none of that. And for the most part, people can kind of stay out of trouble, not really get involved in too much.
Yeah.
Was
So
it the penguins from Madagascar say "Smile and wave, boys"?
Yeah.
Smile and wave, boys.
Smile
Smile
away,
and
boys.
wave.
Smile
classic.
away.
Yeah.
So yeah, like identifying with crews, putting crews into your tags is gonna label you for sure. It's gonna mark you, like you said, and
Yes.
don't be aggressive on social media. Don't be negative.
Yeah.
That'll
Don't do
save
any of that.
your ass in the drama department.
Yes.
Sure. Um. So there's that because drama is basically radioactive here. But taking the drama out, what would make RDR a perfect game?
If
If we just
CBC didn't exist,
Okay.
competitive play
Yeah.
didn't exist, people wouldn't have to have the urge to be better than the other. Everybody would have the simple fighting.
Okay, okay, interesting.
I would agree. If PvP didn't exist, if Rockstar actually like fixed the glitching, right?
Hmm.
If the entire Red Dead Online com was just restarted with different people, and then I think if Red Dead, or I think if Rockstar didn't give up on Red Dead, I think things would be a lot different.
Hmm. So support, interesting. Yeah. So this question pertains more to the people that have been in the crew longer. How has Gaia changed over the years?
Um, I feel that Gaia has changed, and it will always continue to change based on who is in leadership. And I know that that's, well, yeah, duh, right? But I mean, it's true.
Hmm.
Gaia has changed its policies, it has changed in its activity and what we allow and what we don't allow based on different people being in different positions in leadership, right? I think the crew also changes uh, based on the game. So we things used to operate a lot differently when Red Dead was more of a community still, right? Um, we used to get jumped a lot more than we do now.
Hmm.
Um, and because there were more people in the community, I feel that fights and wars actually mattered, and now they don't. Now it's just another day. It's just okay. Well, let's get this over with, you know. Um,
Okay.
but I think it just depends on the game, the lifespan of the game, and who's in charge.
Yeah. And you guys got significantly more cleaner over the years, I've noticed, right? It's like you kicked all the cheaters out and got phased out, right?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't that many to begin with. It was just
Yeah.
it was I can name off two people who were big like booters way back in the day, and that was going
Okay,
to be
okay.
one of the founders, which was Paw 2003 PhD, probably one of my best friends I've ever had, and another guy called Otto, and those are like the only two booters that Gaia has ever had that I'm aware of. If we do have booters, then I'm not aware of them.
Hmm.
Um, I've I don't think I've ever heard someone say, "Oh, this person's booting" or anything like that. We've had members who have come in and have been very sus with their lag, and they usually don't stay for very long because we like call them out on it.
Hmm.
Um, but that mainly pertains to this community. But I'd say we've always been fairly clean, just with that couple of exceptions right there.
Okay. What's the most important lesson that Gaia has taught each and every one of you?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Never beg for a seat at a table when you can build your own.
Deep.
Like what we've built here, as Char had stated, this isn't just the amalgamation. This isn't just the image of one person, because I feel like I get a lot of credit where credit isn't necessarily due. I couldn't have achieved all that I've done without the many support systems that I've had, many of them surrounding you right here, right now. I mean, again, as stated at the beginning of this, I could go into detail about the major achievements and accomplishments that every person around you right now has done and set the framework, the groundwork of a lot of stuff, a lot of policies that Gaia enacts even today. And that would just keep us here for another hour, and I know we're not trying to do that.
Well, fire off a
So,
couple. Go ahead. I'll. Yeah,
uh,
I'm curious.
Ivar here, alongside Agro and Chief, have revolutionized the security within this crew. Char had mentioned that we got jumped a lot back in the day. Now we actually have a team of people who actively go through friends lists and make sure that nobody's associating. Every person who joins our clan goes through a series of background checks, not through only one division, but a second one as well.
Okay.
So we are very selective with the type of person that we allow in. Just as a regular member, that's not even including leadership. Um, and so, like, all of the people around you are highly skilled individuals at particular fields within the crew. Char here has pretty much completely rebuilt the recruiting and instructor division pretty much, what, twice now?
Okay.
uh, or at least set the precedent for what became that division. Ivar here put the Sentinels back where they needed to be. A lot of the people, such as Aggro and Chief, I'm going to point those two out particularly, have been very good fighters in a lot of different stuff that we've done in the past. Speaking like regarding RDR specifically, Chief Dill runs his own like independent, semi-independent like stuff. He runs his own community with almost 300 people. He runs the Daisy stuff. He's kind of the head honcho for a lot of external stuff, not necessarily including the gaming side. And that's just to name a few. I couldn't have built what is known as Gaia without everyone putting together their policies and putting our heads together to come together, and whether it be a vote or whether it be something that someone feels passionate about and they're willing to fight for it in the face of adversity, whatever it may be, we always seem to come out a little bit stronger and a little bit more unified at the end. And I think that's something that is rare in a lot of crews.
Yeah, I agree. And it sounds like it's working out.
Everyone here, and even some that are not here with us right now. Uh, you know, these are my people. I don't I don't I don't mean to get what you call it. I don't want a pity party. You know what I'm saying? That's not why I'm saying this. It's not why I'm sharing this, right? But if I didn't have Gaia, my wife, you know, I don't have family outside of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've got nobody, right? These people are my family. Including my wife too. I'm saying, without her, without Gaia, I wouldn't have shit, right? As far as family to lean on,
Hmm.
it'd be just me, right?
Yep.
My family don't talk to me no more. God knows why. I don't know what I did, but you know, these people here, each and every one of them has took me in, as one of their own, and uh, it taught me that family isn't always blood, and it also taught me that a family can exist,
Yeah, you never know who you're gonna
even if.
meet and like who comes full circle in your
Oh
life.
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
It was like that one thing I told you a long time ago. Family ain't who you're born with, it's who you die for.
Oh, most definitely.
That's deep.
That couldn't have been a more truer statement. I would die for each and every one of you here, and I mean that. Like it goes farther than just a game. It goes farther than jumping in front of a bullet for one of you guys on Red Dead. I'd do it out here too. You know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could vouch for that, coffer.
Oh, I know it, brother. I know it. I would for you too, bro.
It's a great feeling. I love what I do, and I'd die doing it if it came down to it.
Any lessons?
This one's a lot less personal, but it kind of is. But never put yourself above your brothers. And this goes for more stuff I've learned during being in leadership or HR of Gaia. Is every time I've seen someone put themselves above their brothers and sisters, it's always ended bad.
Mm-hmm.
You have to equal it out. If you put yourself above them, they're gonna end up despising you because you're just showing you're selfish and stuff like that, as well as just it shows a lack of integrity as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have to even that out.
Char, any lessons?
I have learned that family is oftentimes what you make of it, and found in the least likely of places. I have learned, as Agro had stated, to never put yourself above your brothers and sisters, but you simultaneously have to put yourself first at the same time. It's this delicate balance that you have to walk.
Okay.
I have
Elaborate on that. Like, what situations um are relevant to that?
I have seen people I've seen people fight over people they have pledged their loyalty to to get a position.
Yeah.
I have seen people argue. I've seen people put themselves over their brothers and sisters knowing that it wasn't right. But I've also seen people tear themselves apart to appease others. I myself have torn myself apart to appease people in this crew, in this
Okay.
clan, in this family, right? And it's not always worth it. And
Yeah.
sometimes it is.
Okay, so sometimes you need to learn how to give and take when to do each one.
And that's hard. It's really hard to recognize that. Gaia has also taught me the extent of my leadership. I was shy and soft spoken when I first joined, and I still am soft spoken. But I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't advocate for myself. I didn't know the extent of my capabilities, and I feel that this plan has helped show me what I'm capable of. I know now that I have the ability to manage people. I have the ability to talk and articulate. I have the ability to organize, and I'm fantastic when it comes to human resources, right? And I didn't think that I would be good at that, and here I am. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One more important thing that I learned is that community does exist, and that this one's more personal for me because I I grew up rough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I grew up with little to no support, very little community, and I never thought that I'd find it. Um, this clan has single-handedly been my family when mine has fallen apart. This clan and the people in it have put food on my table. They have covered costs that I never thought that anyone would cover. Um, I lost family, and they helped cover the costs of the funeral.
Wow.
My mom got sick and couldn't work, and they helped me pay the bills until I could get a job to help pay the bills. Um, they have helped me pay for gas to get to work, right? Like they have done so much for me besides being a family, being brother and sister. Uh, they've done so much for me, including giving me the love of my life, this man right here, my hubby, my love.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hi.
Wow.
but,
Okay,
yeah,
so the Gaia clan, you know, gave you a lot, has a lot to offer, and in a way, probably saved you from a
definitely,
different life.
for sure.
Obviously, it taught you leadership skills, like you said, managing skills, other skills on computer, writing, probably like a bunch of stuff that we don't even notice. Just in the way we talk to people, like kind of fulfilling our social needs every day. Are you guys playing? Are you guys linking up every day, or is it like a couple of times a
Yeah.
week? Okay. Okay. Wow. Very tight crew here. If you weren't into games, what would y'all be doing instead?
To be honest, I'd probably still be where I am. I'm already I've actually this is gonna get a bit personal in real life. I recently signed the papers to enlist, joining up in the army
Wow.
here soon. So if I didn't play games, I'd probably still be exactly where I'm at, just signing these papers to move out.
Okay. And when you ship out, are you gonna stop playing RDR, or are you still
I'll
gonna
uh
find time to game?
I'll find what I can, but it's a sad truth I have to accept that I'll probably have to step down from my position because obviously I'll be gone for a long period of time. So
Okay. Okay.
I will definitely come back here and play with my brothers and sisters whenever I get the chance.
For sure. For sure.
We ain't going nowhere.
Better
What
fucking not.
what about Chief?
I honestly couldn't think of anything else because I I have a lot more things than just games going on, so probably just doing extra of the things that I do outside of the games, i.e., working out. I'm picking up instruments.
Nice.
Do a lot
What
of
was the instrument?
instrument. I've been trying to figure out how to do guitar and banjo, but I'm pretty trash at it. I've been trying to picking up a little bit of airsoft, not too bad. If I didn't have games, I'd probably be just doing extra of those.
Yeah. What about Ivar? What would you be doing instead?
Um, I'd have to say I'd try getting back into martial arts
Oh, cool.
because I really wouldn't have much else going for me other than trying to build the foundation to maybe one day in the future create my own a family of my own.
Oh, wow.
Um, I wrestled all through high school. Made it to can't remember if it was green or blue belt in karate. Um, I did a little bit of boxing. Uh,
Cool.
all of which was fun as hell.
Hmm.
I'd probably get back into it and see if I can't make something of myself in that field.
Cool, cool. What about Char?
Admittedly, I don't actually know because while in Gaia, I've gone through some rough patches, and if Gaia wasn't here and it was inevitable for me to go through those rough patches, I can't say where I would be now.
Okay, okay.
I can confidently say, Tino, and this is just putting it as real as I can, uh, I'd be dead.
Damn.
I'd be dead.
So the crew and community indirectly or directly saved your life.
Yeah. One of our leaders, he's currently not here. I believe he was on. Oh no, he got offline, but he was on. He was doing some other stuff with the crew while we handled this. He's another founder. I've known him for almost 15 years. He's pretty much my best friend. I grew up with him, like straight up, just grew up with him. I've been through some rough patches with him, over the years, and when my family member came over with his PlayStation 3 that time, and if I wasn't introduced to the original Red Dead Online, and I didn't meet that guy, I went through, as Char stated, and I went through all of the hurdles in my life that I went through without the support system that I've meticulously over the years with my best friends have built, I would be dead.
Do you guys ever think about like the type of people you'd end up with if you played like different games, if you played other games, how different your lives would be?
One thing led to another, and I ended up getting therapy, right? And if that, what I would like to say is a very crucial moment in my life, if that didn't happen, the type of people that I surrounded myself with would be very different. I think that it would be a major reason why things didn't work out too great with me. I think about that a little bit. Not really as much anymore, but it used to be a big thing for me because I used to have a lot of regrets, almost kind of like an interesting form of survivor's guilt, I
Okay.
guess you could say, because I did a lot of not okay stuff in my teenage years. So like now that I'm an adult and I've kind of like learned how to be okay with my actions and what I've done in the past. It's helped me just kind of. It's helped me move past it. I think a
Hmm.
lot.
Okay. Because like it seems, I mean, doesn't seem it's quite obvious how much of an impact our friends have on us in game and outside for some people. It's crazy to think about how even like changing one person or one friend, adding them or subtracting them from the equation of your circle, how different your life could be. It's just like one person can can change your whole like perspective on gaming and even life. So it is interesting to see the dynamics and to meet people such as yourselves, and how the game has brought all of us together and impacted our lives. So it's cool to see. Know, um, it's cool to see gamers significantly benefit from the camaraderie and the support systems that these crews offer, such as yourselves. Because a lot of people, assume, kind of like what we were talking about, is just to avoid crews, to avoid drama, and to avoid joining crews. But I guess you have to be really selective and particular on which type, and sometimes you could really significantly benefit from joining some crews. Now, I wanted to ask too, what are I guess you could say, the prerequisites of joining Gaia? How do you know that Gaia is right for you?
Typically, what we'll do is the majority of the time you have to be invited by another member. Now that is the majority of time. There have been a couple, cases where people have sought us out. After hearing about us or whatever, though we do keep an eye on people who actively seek us out, mainly because a lot of people are, trying to gouge for information or whatever, for other groups and stuff like that. And we've just kind of, I stated this previously, but we are very wary of outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of our recruits we pull from games that have nothing to do with the competitive side of the Rockstar communities. A lot of them either come from those communities, or if we do recruit, we often go for lower ranking members with high, lower ranking people within the game with high gamer score on their account, to show that they're not an alt account, and we'll show them how the game works. We would much rather start with a blank slate than have to compete with, oh well, this crew taught me how to go God mode, or this crew. We don't want to deal with all that, so we just stick with lower ranking people. Once they're brought in, and they agree to join, they have to join our Discord. Once they join the Discord, they have to fill out an application, which gives us the bare minimum about someone, confirming that they are, of course, at least above the age of 13. We don't care about ranks or anything like that in game. We don't care if you're level 1 or level 1000. It doesn't matter to us. And just goes over a couple basic, stuff. Are you willing to wear our uniform? Are you willing to, uphold the values of our community? Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And if they put forward their application and it gets reviewed by our security team, we hit accept on the application, and then they'll be automatically put forward towards a prospect period. This
Okay.
prospect period lasts a total of 2 weeks if they get the votes. So we do have a voting system, right? So it's not like, oh, you go through a bare minimum and you get in. It's just say, for example, Hellrisen, if you were wanting to become a member and you're a prospect, well, if you've been here for 2 weeks, which is the allotted requirement, and you don't get enough votes, which is typically around 10 to 20 votes, by other members, which means they have to go and actively vouch for you. If you don't get that amount, you'll have to repeat a week until next week's meeting, and then we'll go over it again, and stuff like that until you get enough votes.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'll sit and prospect until you do. And if after a while you've been shown to, you're not really there for your brothers and sisters, you don't care enough to, hang out in parties, you don't care enough to come around and say hello and communicate with us, then we'll remove you. So again, that's how we keep our crew kind of tight knit, making sure that, when we do get a recruit, they have to be putting just as much work into us as we are them. And, it's very important that we keep with that kind of set of running things, because that's how you run a strict community. That's how you keep people, that's how you keep the trash out, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So participation and loyalty are like the
Participation,
huge factors.
loyalty. They can't be overly dickheads. If they come in and they're like, "Oh, I could body all you," blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. That's not really the type of that's not the type of person we allow. So
Humbleness.
typically those people do not get enough votes to ever even get in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do get in, just so by miracle that they get voted in, they don't typically last long because people will be quick to call out their shit if they're being a dick.
Okay.
And we run our clan by a mandate, so it's written exactly what is in there, what members have rights. Now, I don't know if you're in our Discord or not, but if you
Yep.
are, you can see at the top of our Discord we have clan mandate. You can go to Section 1, Article C, member rights. And it's got a list that every member, every full member, has a right to a certain degree of things that not even leaders, myself, Char, nobody in this leadership can tell another member that they can't do these things. And that's how we made sure that our people are relatively happy with leadership. You know, nobody's going to go around treating them like shit or doing anything like that. So we run a fairly tight ship, and it works out all right.
Okay. And what's the easiest way to get kicked out, so to speak?
Double crewing.
Okay, wow.
Probably double
crew.
crewing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are repping us in any way, prospect, member, anything like that, and we find out you are even hanging around another crew while in your prospect phase, you'll get kicked.
Okay.
Members, full members require a trial to be removed, but it's fairly quick. If you're hanging out with, if you're a full member of Gaia and I get confirmation that you're in the mob Discord and you have member, that's enough to warrant you get kicked.
Okay.
You'll be put on trial immediately, and the council will go through, they'll cast their votes, and that'll be the end of it. Prospects, they don't get a trial, they just get kicked, you know.
Okay. What about are you gonna be bringing any significant changes to how the crew runs? Do you plan on integrating any solutions to certain problems? Any new announcements you'd like to make about the crew?
As of right now, we actually just got done with our annual conference recently. February the 1st, we held a massive conference. This conference we hold every year at the beginning of every year in February for all of our alliances and partners, affiliates, whoever we've had good standing with, prospects, members, anybody associated with Gaia can attend this big public forum we like to call the conference, where they can air out their grievances, they can reveal their plans for the new year and stuff like that. So as far as anything relatively new, we're just going to keep on keeping on. There's nothing I have that hasn't already really been discussed. I mean, we have a lot of stuff, kind of like projects in the work, but
Okay.
it's nothing that I really wish to disclose as of the moment.
No problem.
Because we're nowhere near finishing a lot of these projects, but we will be advertising pretty heavily on these things once they're out and about. And that's just, I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Okay. And what about like recruitment? Are you guys heavily recruiting right now, or have you guys ever like closed the books and just like locked in your numbers, or how does that work?
We honestly, every time there's a major conflict with another crew, we close the books. Like
Okay.
pretty much all the time. So whenever a crew calls us out or like comes at us in another way, or if there's even a mention that we have like an information leak or something like that, the books get closed.
Okay.
As far as like our recruitment, honestly, we don't really go out of our way to like recruit a whole hell of a lot. There are a couple members who actively go out of their way to recruit, but it's because they're not necessarily known. So nothing's going to get impeded if they go out and start, trying to bring in some fresh meat. But we kind of just go with the flow, and people, if they're there at the right moment, then I guess fate had us meet for a reason.
Yeah. Circumstantial. Cool. All right, Coffee, lead the way. Let's go to your spot.
I'm over here doing a fucking tornado or some shit.
Some spin
Let me get my
skis.
harmonica ready. Where's my harmonica, guys?
Oh,
I lost
man.
it. Okay, I got it.
Oh man.
We'll make our way
wait,
back
one
to the
sec.
manor, guys. Aggro.
I want you to know, guys, I just got that harmonica today. I'm having so much fun with it.
Nice.
Is everybody gonna make their way back to the manor?
I'm already here. Me and Bill and Char are already here.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
just
I'm
waiting for
grabbing.
Ivar and me and Mr. Tino.
I'm grabbing some shites from the post office.
Are you gonna continue doing this, Tino, for other groups?
Yeah. Sure.
Good, good.
For sure. Get the crew stories out to share. Share with
I
the
think we can head inside and go to the table like I originally wanted to do.
Okay, sick. Yeah, for the
Char,
speech.
you look evil.
That is menacing.
You look evil.
Let's close these doors.
Pick up the Mac.
Yes.
So yeah, Coffee has an important updates to address everyone in the comm and in his crew.
So, as of the 5th of February, I should also state I've I've been sick recently. Well, anyway, the 5th of February was my birthday. It was my 22nd birthday, and you know, that day kind of marked the beginning of the end of my time in the RDO community. On that day, I decided that I was not going to do that. I choose, instead of spreading hate, I choose love. And the way I look at it is my crew established itself here about 4 years back because we disagreed with a policy that Sony pushed. And since then, we have firmly planted ourselves within the Xbox community. And there is nobody that can contest that. Gaia's here, and we're here to stay. And, you know, in that same vein, we're not here to push anyone else out. We're here to coexist, which is the entire point of, in my personal opinion, community. For all of, you know, Gaia's ex-members and all of the previous bonds I've made in the RDO comm over the past 4 years or 5 years, however long it's been, you know, for whatever it's worth, I forgive you. You know, no beef, no drama, no problems. You know, you keep my name out of your mouth, and we'll keep it the same. So, you know, whatever issues there were prior, we can push it out, and you know, that'll be that. We can all move forward. 2025 being a new year, whatever. And you know, the time that I've spent on this single game and how much time and effort I've put into the general community, oh man, it's insane. You know, I've worked alongside great people. I've worked alongside shit people. At the end of the day, I'm just thankful for the experiences that I shared, you know, with the people, you know, a lot of the people of which are in the room with me. You know, they were right in the mud with me, right in the thick of it, always by my side, and you guys are genuinely my family. Some of the best people I've ever met. A lot of you I've met in real life, you know, and like a lot of members, I didn't always have that support system in real life, and so you guys have been that for me where I've, you know, not always had it. So, you know, this kind of portion of my life where I've been on RDO, and I got to be honest with you, Tino, if I'm being entirely honest, past 4 years have been pretty fucking hell for me in the RDO comm. You know, I've gone through a bad breakup with my ex-fiance. You know, I've been doxxed. I've been, you know, people have reached out to my dad. You know, a lot of stuff's been spread around me about me, you know, in real life and stuff. And you know, I feel at the point that I'm at right now in my life, I've hit the light at the end of this dark tunnel. And you know, I've started to try to take care of myself a little bit more. A hell of a lot due to the efforts of this beautiful lady Char over here. She's helped me out.
Nice.
You know, take better care of myself. As you can tell, I'm sick, and I've got a pretty bad immune system, so I stay sick a lot. And it's just kind of, you know, here is surprised whenever I get sick. But it's due to all of these actions. You know, it's due to me wanting to better myself. It's due to me wanting to pick up on a lot of stuff that I haven't always had the opportunity to do in real life. Well, now that I'm at this light, so to speak, I have to step away. from the RDO com, and partially even my family in Gaia. So, for those of you who don't know, I transferred leadership over to Mr. Gaia X Ivar over there, and he's continued to lead our family. And I know I made the right choice. I'm not worried about it or anything. He's since done a lot to improve the crew and make sure that there are no issues and stuff like that. For my point of view, looking from where I'm at now and looking into the com, I've been here since the beginning, since Black Diamond Empire and Charon, since before cheating was a normal occurrence and before the community was overrun by the same types of people. But when the community was actually a community, and I've always worked towards diversity among crews, the integrity among the people that make up RDO, and a sense of a united community. RDO, the RDO community.
Yeah.
And
famous.
that's what I've long strived for, and it's by this point it is long gone, and so are the greats. The greats that made this game the fantastic community that it once was. And as a self-proclaimed great, with me being as round as long as I have, with me doing as much as I have to negate the negative effects that a lot of other groups have had on the community, it's my time to follow these guys out. I've done all that I can do. I've said all that I can say. My crew has fought back at every turn, and really, there's, at one point, you have to let go, and this is me letting go of something I don't have confidence will ever be what it once was. So, this is Gaia X Coffee out.
Okay.
I'm out.
And so it's basically like the light at the end of the tunnel is like you feel like RDR peaked and you have to start this new chapter in your life to better yourself. Is that what I understand?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay. Having said that, I think we should all take the time to appreciate Coffee for everything that he's done for each and every one of our lives. And it's a good time to kind of say something good about him. Personally, I've known you maybe only 1 month maybe, and I think that you're very polite, well spoken, and an upstanding guy. I think you give people the respect and the time that they deserve, and I see great leadership attributes in you.
Well, I appreciate that, Tina.
Yep.
So, Coffee, I might not have known you as long as the rest of the people at this table, but you have had a good impact in my life. You've been there every time I've needed you, every time I needed to vent, every time I needed to tell you how I've been feeling, and I know I haven't used it all the time, because, those emotions are pretty hard. But I can proudly say, I'll let you die real quick. I can proudly say that I have you on my side if I ever need you, and that's more than I could say about a lot of people.
Yeah, bro. You already know. I'm there for you.
I gotta say, I really do appreciate you kind of like bringing me to this community. As much as it sucks, it's also a great thing to have met you beautiful people. I know me saving your butt down here in Saint Denis was a very memorable moment.
It was.
But I have to say, I do owe all my achievements and all my progressions to you, my good sir. Without you, without this group, I probably wouldn't have done so much of this stuff that we've done now. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do it. So with that, I thank you for it.
I appreciate you sticking around as long as you have, Chief, because I have known you for a good bit, and I appreciate the kind words.
Of course, couldn't think of a better group and a better person to serve underneath.
Cool.
Except for that green guy over there.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, green guy. Wanna go next?
Indeed. Man, I don't even know where to begin with you. But if I may, um, it is has been and always will be an honor to have served you. You know, from you saving my ass in the bayou when during my low level days to us sharing ink, which that's an experience I'll never forget. Right? I mean, I have it tattooed into my skin. You know, it's great. I love you very much. I couldn't have asked for better people or better company. You know, um, there isn't a thing on this earth that I wouldn't do for you. I'd lay my life down for you if I had to, and that is
That is
that is that is
absolutely
a fact.
mutual, bro. That is absolutely mutual, and you know that. You know that, bro.
Almost definitely, most definitely, I do.
And last but not least,
I am not necessarily sure where to start or what to say. I feel throughout the years I have often said how I felt because I tell you all every day how important you are to me. Um, I would not be where I am right now if it weren't for the people at the table.
thank you.
You guys are my family, my brother, my lover, and I could not ask for anyone else to be here with me.
Cool.
Such a somber moment that I
Getting
that I
choked
go
up.
die.
I'm getting choked up here, guys. And
Literally.
Coffee, do you have any closing statements? And maybe tell us what's next in store for the legendary coffee.
Uh, I have long put aspects of my life on the back burner uh, for a large portion of just a lot of different reasons. I haven't always been, as currently, you could see, I haven't always been at the best of health. I haven't always done a lot with my family. My goal is to kind of let the new generation of folk kind of take over. That's why I stepped to the side as director, and I let Ivar take over as president of the Xbox stuff, and he'll keep stuff running. And this council will do their diligence to make sure that people are happy with the crew and make sure that it continues to be the beacon that it's always been under my leadership. And I know that I've grown close enough to these people that in the event that they ever get into a bind, they can ask them, what, if Coffee was here, well, how would he handle this? And I know that that's the effect that I've left, and hearing everybody say good things about me makes me uh, emotional to know that I have, even though it's been Gaia that's done a lot for the people. I've started to kind of pat myself on the back for being as instrumental because there's a lot of times in the past where Gaia could have laid dead in the dirt if I didn't put in the extra effort to you know do more for it and keep everybody engaged and do stuff like that. And now that I'm growing older and I need to put a lot more time towards other things in my life, I need to take a back seat and kind of just chill out and take better care of myself in a variety of different ways. Go get other hobbies and spend more time with the family I do have left IRL. Uh,
Hmm.
though I haven't always had really a great family, so uh, a lot of a large portion of the reason why I have kind of pushed for Gaia to be the family values that it is I guess kind of stemming from my own disadvantages in real life. And uh, you don't know how many people out there are just like you, sitting in the exact same boat. until you go searching for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I get
And
that.
I think that is my closing statement. I don't think I have anything else to say.
Sounds good. In spite of that, I think you guys are an exceptional crew, and obviously it won't be the same without you. But it appears you have left it in good hands with Ivar, right?
Oh,
Absolutely.
most definitely.
Yeah.
He gonna take care of this place.
Yeah.
Get up there at the head of the table, boy.
Oh,
Take the throne.
I'm gonna just sit over here in the
Oh.
back seat. Come on, do it.
Take the throne.
Ah.
This guy.
Rise. The leader.
Hail to the king, as they say.
Yeah.
she just like that. That was the most Skyrim NPC clap I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
That was absolutely fucking terrible. This guy. Why? Oh,
You
my bad,
ruined it,
Chief.
guys.
We ruined it, bro. That sounded like air.
What?
No, I got you, I got you.
started laughing like way before. You
on,
started
guys.
laughing as you
Aggro,
were
hop on a
playing
horse.
it.
We gotta get home, boyos.
It's slow. And a bucket's of love.
The many miles we walk.
Yeah.